Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the off season for the Milwaukee Bucks. Things that we're going to be talking about today are some of the moves that have already happened and some of the moves that I would like the Bucks to do. Let's get into it. Moves done so far. It looks like we've got Cole Anthony done and wrapped. We've got Miles Turner, he done the press conference the other day. We got Gary Harris. And the most surprising move of the offseason was that Damian Lillard got waived and his contract got stretched for us to acquire Miles Turner. And we re-signed Bobby Portis, KPJ, Ryan Rollins, Taurean Prince and Gary Trent Jr. And all these acquisitions, all these re-signings were great. All of them were done for a great price. Prince, I was a bit hesitant on, but the rest of them, I like those signings. Miles Turner. So what Miles Turner provides us is 3-point shooting and spacing, which is great, especially next to a player like Giannis. He's a great rim protector and a shot blocker, so he fills that void that Brook Lopez has left, and he can be the defensive anchor for the Milwaukee Bucks. And my favorite thing about this acquisition is that he's a mobile and athletic big, so in pick and rolls, he's gonna get up. When smaller guards try and switch onto him, he will take that challenge. He's way better than Brook Lopez at defending in space, and that's massive for us. That completely changes our defense. He is an average rebounder. He is slightly better than Brook Lopez, to be fair to him, but I wouldn't say that's his main strength. For me, his main strengths are his spacing, his 3-point shooting, and his defense. Next up, Cole Anthony. I think this is a great acquisition. I love his ability to drive and get to the rim. Last season, especially for the Bucks, we did not have enough drivers to the paint. The only guy who can consistently get to the paint was Giannis Antetokounmpo. And as a result of that, we never had enough opportunities to create threes. Let me tell you why. When a guy can drive into the paint at ease, like Cole Anthony, right, it collapses the defense. And once the defense collapses, you're able to create 3-point looks and opportunities. A big criticism for me about the Bucks was that we never got enough 3-point shots up. We are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, if not the best. We need to take advantage of that and get a higher volume of 3-point shots up. And getting a guy who can drive into the paint at will would definitely help that. And I think Cole Anthony offers that. I think he's a creative finisher at the rim. He's extremely athletic. So, yeah, around the rim, he is dangerous. A criticism of his game is that he's an average 3-point shooter. But with Giannis, his 3-point shooting might go up. You see Malik Beasley, Taurean Prince. A lot of players have had career years from 3 playing with Giannis because of his gravity. He can also be inconsistent. He had very high highs for Orlando last season for sure, especially against the who was it against? I think it was the Atlanta Hawks in the playing game. He absolutely torched the Atlanta Hawks and carried the Orlando Magic into the playoffs. So he's a very competent player for sure. And his lack of size on defense can hurt him, but he really does hustle on defense. You can never question his effort, so I love this signing for the Bucks. Finally, we got Gary Harris. I have no idea what the logic behind this trade is. Gary Harris in his prime, I'd probably say was at Denver. He was a good 3-and-D guy. Very, very good defender, but injuries have really derailed his career. He's not the same physical guy he once was. My logic is he might be a veteran presence in the locker room for the young guys to look up to, and potentially he can be a backup as an undersized small forward, potentially, because he can guard bigger guys in the post. He is a strong player, so that's the only 2 ways I think the Bucks are going to use him, to be honest. In my opinion, we've been one of the busiest teams in the off seasons and we've made some smart moves, but the job is not finished. There is still more to be done. What needs to be done next for the Milwaukee Bucks to be a contender? In my opinion, we need a good wing and we need a secondary scoring option. Small forward targets. So here are some of the guys that we should look into. Andrew Wiggins, Dylan Brooks, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, RJ Barrett and Keegan Murray. This is the first category of wings that we're going to be looking at. Veteran defensive wings. So the guys on the screen right here are Andrew Wiggins and Dylan Brooks. First of all, Andrew Wiggins. I think he will be a good fit for the Bucks. He gives us athleticism, three-point shooting and great defense. You saw in the 2022 playoff run by the Warriors, Andrew Wiggins was assigned with the toughest defensive assignment. He was the point of attack defender for the Warriors, and for me, he was the most impactful defender for the Warriors in that run. So he's shown, especially for the last couple of years, he's a very capable, even elite defender, and his three-point percentage is great as well. So he's definitely someone that the Bucks should be going for. And then the next guy is Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks just got traded to Phoenix, so I don't think we can make a trade for him now, but after a certain point we can. But in terms of Dylan Brooks, I know a lot of fans might not like this because of his antics, but this guy is a lockdown defender. He sets the tone on defense. And you just look at his career. When he was at the Memphis Grizzlies were a winning, serious organization. When he leaves, they crumble. He comes to the Rockets. The Rockets were a lottery team before Dylan Brooks came. You know what the Rockets became? A serious playoff team. They were second in the West. This guy sets the culture in organizations. This guy is an elite defender. And he will definitely be an upgrade over Kyle Kuzma. Both of these guys will definitely be upgrades over Kyle Kuzma, who we need to get rid of now. The next set of wings I want to talk about are the younger defensive wings. So first of all, I want to talk about Keegan Murray. I know a lot of you guys probably won't watch the Sacramento Kings. Who does? But based on my research, this guy takes on the toughest defensive assignment every single night for the Sacramento Kings, and he does a very good job at it. In my opinion, he is an elite defender. And if he's not elite, he's very close to it. He's a very versatile defender. He can guard from 1 to 4. I've seen this guy guard Steph Curry on certain nights, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. But then I've seen this guy guard Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's done a pretty darn good job at it. And especially this year, he's taken a massive leap. He's a very good screen navigator. He can get over screens really well. He's a high IQ defender. He's very versatile. He's very disciplined as well. He doesn't get caught on pump fakes. He stays down. He's very good at closing out. He's very good at contesting. He's a good off-ball defender. And the thing he has that I love is that he is a 6'8" wing. And he's an elite perimeter defender. This is something that the Milwaukee Bucks have never had in the Giannis Antetokounmpo era. A wing with elite size with elite defense. Let's go back to the 2022 Boston series. Does Jason Tatum drop 46 on Keegan Murray? No. Let's go to the 2023 playoff series against the Miami Heat. Does Jimmy Butler drop 50s, 40s, 30s on Keegan Murray? No. That's how good I think this guy is. This guy could be the difference between us being a mediocre defensive team and one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And I hope the Bucks are trying to get him because I really think he's that good. Obviously, an area of concern for his game is his dip of three-point shooting. In his rookie year, he shot 41.1% from three, which is outrageous and broke the record for the most threes made by a rookie. However, he's taken a slump in terms of his three-point shooting. I think he's shooting around 34-35%. And my theory for that is that because he guards the toughest players every night, and the fact that he needs to switch 1 through 4, even 5 sometimes, it takes a lot of energy, right? It takes a lot out of your legs. And when it comes to shooting, you need to have your legs. You need to have good conditioning. So my only theory for that slump and that dip is because he's not conditioned to being an elite two-way player. And hopefully he works on that. But an encouraging sign is that post All-Star break, he has shot near 40% from three. So that is encouraging. And then the next guy I want to talk about is Herb Jones. He's just signed a contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I don't think we're going to get him, to be honest. But again, this guy's one of the best defenders in the NBA. Very versatile. His three-point shooting can be questionable as well. But yeah, this guy's one of the premium defenders in the NBA. And he's got the size like Keegan Murray. But out of these two, I think Keegan Murray is the most acquirable. Now, the next crop of wings I want to talk about are the young offensive wings. First up is Trey Murphy III. He's had a great season this year. He's averaging around 21 points. And in my opinion, out of all the wings that we're talking about, I think this guy has the highest ceiling. He's definitely got all-star potential. And he showed it this year. And he's a great three-point shooter. And that's a bonus, especially next to a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. It opens the floor for him. It makes his life easier. But will the New Orleans Pelicans accept a Kuzma plus another young piece like an AJ Green or an Andre Jackson Jr. plus a first round pick? I don't believe so. I think Trey Murphy's value is too high. And I think it's unrealistic for the Bucks to get him, to be entirely honest. New Orleans are a dumb organization, so they might fall into the bait, but I really don't think this trade will happen. For me, it's the dream scenario because if we get a guy like Trey Murphy, he addresses two things. He addresses size at the wing position, which the Bucks severely need, and he can also be our secondary scoring option. So it ticks two of the boxes that we really need. And if we get him, that completes our off-season. John Horst, you get an A+. But the next guy I want to talk about is RJ Barrett. I see a lot of fans on Bucks Twitter. They're not high on him. But in my opinion, I think you guys are undervaluing him. Ever since he's got to Toronto, he's been a 20+ point scorer. His efficiency has skyrocketed compared to his tenure at the New York Knicks. I mean, truly. His field goal percentage has gone up. His three-point percentage has gone up. He's just become a better player. And I think an underrated aspect of his game is his playmaking. Especially off the pick and roll. He can make really good reads. He can read the floor better. He can process the game a lot better. I think he averaged over 5 assists. And I'm very impressed that his playmaking aspect of his game has really taken that leap. And that could be useful because he can be like a secondary playmaker for the Bucks. Another thing I like about RJ Barrett is his driving ability. His ability to get into the paint. That's very important because when you get to the paint, just like a Cole Anthony, you can collapse the defense and create more three-point looks. And this is something that the Bucks should really go for. Increasing that volume of three-pointers because we got too many good shooters to be taking too little threes. I like both these options. I think RJ Barrett is probably the most realistic option out of the two. Reports also stated that they are willing to trade RJ Barrett, so that could be an avenue the Bucks can go down. But RJ Barrett is not that great of a defender. That's the only downside. And finally, I think the Bucks need a secondary scoring option. Look, was he good at Phoenix? No. But he still put up numbers and he still was efficient. I don't think Bradley Beal was put in a position to succeed at the Phoenix Suns. When you have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, you got three guys who do the same thing. It was always going to fail. But for the Milwaukee Bucks, if Bradley Beal is the second option to Giannis Antetokounmpo, I am 99% sure he will perform at a very high level. And we can get him on a cheap price as well, especially because the Phoenix Suns are looking to buy him out. If we can get him on a vet min or a couple of million, that can compensate for that Dame loss, for the 22 million a year we're losing for Dame. This guy on a vet min is an absolute bargain. I don't care what you guys say. And he's efficient. He's a 50-40, 90 type of guy. That's perfect for a guy next to Giannis. He would be the main perimeter player for Milwaukee. He can handle the ball. His skill set fits perfectly with Milwaukee, and he would have the defenders around him. It looks like he might go to the Clippers, but if I'm Bradley Beal, if I am smart, if I want to win a championship, if I want to get my value back up, I'm going to the Milwaukee Bucks because it is a perfect situation for him to flourish. Thank you guys for watching the video. It's been an exciting off-season. I can't wait to see what the Milwaukee Bucks do. Tune in, like, subscribe, share, and peace.